her title with maximum points, 5,200, her 6th win of the season.
Your choice potatoes, 5-pound bag, only $4.49. Fresh Purdue oven stuffer roaster at $1.99 per pound. Regular pasta sauce, 24 to 29 ounce jar, hot price $2.69. Tama spaghetti, linguine, or fettuccine pasta, 500-gram bag, hot price $1.69. Chobani Greek yogurts, 5.3 ounce tub, hot price $1.69. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Thursday, January 24th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. 7 people have been admitted to the hospital's intensive care unit suspected of suffering from influenza. The Department of Health are working to determine whether the confirmed cases are a new subtype of the flu strain. Now, health officials are stressing to the public the benefits of having your annual flu shot. A BHB spokesperson confirmed that of the 7 patients, 4 are confirmed flu cases, whilst 3 are displaying symptoms.
This year so far, there has seemed to be a greater impact, a greater severity with the influenza cases that have come to the hospital, and so we are eager to figure out what specific subtypes those are. The typing is going to be done, but that will be retrospective, that we can say that this was the specific subtype that caused these symptoms. I think the important thing for people to hold on to is that there is some protection against a lot of the circulating strains and that they should be vaccinated.
Today, the ministry held a press conference to encourage the public, especially infants and young children, the elderly, and those with chronic medical conditions to get their flu shot.
Vaccines do work.
No flu shot is 100% preventative, but they say being vaccinated reduces your chances of catching it by 50% or more. There's uncertainty whether this year's flu outbreak is a new strain, but officials say the current vaccine cycle has proven efficacy against identified strains.
Last season, the predominant strain was H3N1, and it is important to subtype these influenza, which is something we're currently doing to figure out which particular subtype is circulating. We presume it's H1N1, but in time we'll come to know more clearly what it is. The bottom line is that the current flu vaccine actually protects against both H1N1 and H3N2.
The department has noted people are increasingly hesitant to be immunized. In 2017, general uptake for immunization was at 79%. Health officials say misinformation circulating online may be the culprit.
Social media puts everything on the same plane. It puts the highest level of science along with this, with hearsay and fabricated conspiracy theories, so that the unsuspecting public have a hard time figuring out what the truth is. And so what we're trying to encourage people to do is to go to reputable scientific sites that are not about creating fear and hysteria, that are really based on the facts.
The World Health Organization calls unsubstantiated anti-vaccination claims one of the top 10 health threats in the world for 2019. This has led to the emergence of historic illnesses.
Vaccines against polio, measles, mumps, rubella, tetanus, influenza, and meningitis, and so forth, have been proven safe and effective over many, many decades of use. The risk of having a significant side effect from a childhood or travel immunization is exceedingly small, yet vaccines prevent 2 to 3 million deaths a year worldwide.
To combat this spread of misinformation, the government has launched a vaccine hesitancy working group in an attempt to increase immunization for all diseases. Bermuda is vulnerable to a measles outbreak, as there have been confirmed cases in nearby regions. However, there have been no such cases on the island since the middle of last century. Anyone with flu-like symptoms is urged to stay home from work or school until at least 24 hours after a fever has ended to prevent the spread of the flu virus. Meanwhile, as to the reported death of one person as a result of the flu virus, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Cheryl Peak Ball explained why the Health Ministry did not reveal the true cause of death.
I did want to clarify something that was perhaps misrepresented in the media in the last 24 hours regarding the communications between the hospital and the Ministry of Health. In fact, the Ministry of Health receives all reports of suspected or confirmed influenza cases in the hospital. We do not comment on mortality in individual cases because it is of no greater public health value, and it doesn't honor the privacy of individuals. It was not perhaps understood in the statement that went out earlier. There is a need to balance the public's need to know information and how they can protect themselves with the rights of individuals for privacy. And so while the Ministry of Health's Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit does get regular information from the hospital's infection control department, the ability to talk about that in the public setting is very much limited appropriately because we talk about what is relevant for the general public.
Dr. Cheryl Peak-Ball. Disappointed, that's how Walton Brown, the Minister for the Cabinet Office, feels about comments from Mike Charles, the General Secretary of the Bermuda Union of Teachers, on the continuing negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement for the island's public school teachers. According to the minister, there was no need for the BUT General Secretary to be telling tales out of school. Gary Moreno fills us in.
Next time, call me and let's have a chat. That's the advice from Minister Brown to Mr. Charles. The minister explained in a press release that he maintains an open-door policy, and rather than turning to the media to highlight his concerns, Mr. Charles should have come to the ministry to discuss any perceived impasse. Not only that, Mr. Brown argued the comments from Mr. Charles were misleading. Minister Brown affirmed that public education in Bermuda was a priority for his government, but he also confirmed government's commitment to entering into the new negotiations with the BUT. He added, quote, "The public sector negotiating team is essentially responsible for leading union discussions, and there is a genuine desire to conclude the BUT discussions for a new collective bargaining agreement in a timely fashion." The minister reminded the PSNT has had success with completing negotiations with the BUT, Bermuda Public Services Union, the Fire Services Association, and the Bermuda Industrial Union, which led to 4 collective bargaining agreements by 2018. So the PST knows that is a proven process which works. He sought to clarify that this government entered into a collective bargaining agreement with the BUT. The agreement expired in August 2018, and that agreement was for a term of a year and a half. Minister Brown continued, while a short term, it represented a successfully completed round of negotiations leading to a new CBA. And in government's view at that time, such an agreement was in the best interest of ensuring harmonious industrial relations, such as the government's commitment to education. Elsewhere, Mr. Brown added, "We began the process of reopening discussions with the BUT in June 2018 prior to the summer break, and in consideration of the teachers' summer vacation, discussions were suspended until the commencement of the new school year. Talks recommenced in September 2018 and slowed following the change of leadership of the PSNT. And in recent weeks, effort have been made by that organization to confirm a meeting schedule commencing later this month. However, despite the best efforts, the BUT has yet to confirm the meeting date. Minister Brown concluded, so committed is he to the process that he's reached out to the General Secretary, Mr. Charles, to determine how he can assist in moving things forward. According to the minister, government stands ready to discuss and agree a new agreement with the BUT and awaits confirmation of a date to return to the table. The government, via the PSNT, has only the best intentions and genuinely seeks a resolution. Mr. Brown stated he is a firm believer that ongoing dialogue is the best approach to resolving problems and addressing issues, and he looks forward to meeting the BUT at the negotiating tables. Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Gary, and we'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Stay with us.
From the very beginning, it was always our singular focus to do whatever it takes, use every possible resource to fight cancer, and never lose sight of the patients we're fighting for. Our cancer treatment specialists share the same vision. Experts from all over the world working closely together to deliver truly personalized cancer care. And these are the specialists we're proud to call our own. Expert medicine works here. Learn more at cancercenter.com. Appointments available now.
You can count on us.
Red or white seedless grapes, hot price only $3.99 per pound. Fresh beef round stew beef, $6.99 per pound. ShopRite broccoli florets, 16-ounce bag, hot price $2.99. Kellogg's Fruit Loops, 19.4-ounce box, family size, hot price $8.49. Save $1.60 on Purex Liquid Laundry Detergent, 50-ounce bottle, hot price $4.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m., Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
At Argus, our interest is you. Each of you. Around here, we know that when two people seem the same, they can have very different insurance needs. For their health, home, work, and future. Which is why we take the time to get to know you as an individual, so we can provide insurance coverage that fits your life. Because after all, our interest is you.
Thanks for staying with us. The Commissioner of Police, Stephen Corbishley, today launched a new initiative inviting volunteers from a wide cross-section of the community to become a part of an independent advisory group.
The Bermuda Police Service is launching today our independent advisory group. There are many challenges across Bermuda, and those challenges sit across a variety of different communities, and it's absolutely essential that we shape our services to respond and look after them. It's very much around being community focused and listening to their views, and the independent advisory group seeks to bring together volunteers from different backgrounds, different groups, particularly hard to reach groups, to sit down with us and advise us in the way in which we deliver our policing on a day-to-day basis. The type of policing that we deliver is not one size fits all. It should be responsive to the needs of different people, whether they be seniors, young people, or hard to reach groups, the gay, lesbian, transgender communities, other parties. And so people have trust and confidence that when they come into our contact, they're dealt with fairly and we actually understand their needs.
Now on to weather. Mostly breezy and dry conditions this evening with a slight chance of drizzle. Temperatures are expected to reach a low of 65 degrees. You'll agree that's a welcome improvement this week. And let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters for the details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast on ZBM is brought to us by the good folks at the BF&M Insurance Group. We do have some slightly unsettled weather on the horizon. There were a few very brief, spotty sprinkles in some parts of town earlier today, parts of the island. You can see these clouds, and high pressure has moved to our east, so it's been a flow from the south, delivering slightly milder air. Now, it has not been a major warm-up. We're still at 65, but at least we're moving in the right direction if you like the warmer air compared to where we were earlier in the week. Humidity is fairly high, 75%. Winds are active from the southeast at 15 to 20 knots. Water temp, 66 degrees. And on the inside, we have 1 to 2 foot waves. On the outside, 4 to 8 footers continue to churn. And a small craft warning is therefore in effect through Friday night because of all this. We need to keep an eye on things for the boaters. And again, pretty tumultuous with those wave heights and that breeze from the southeast. High tide is going to be at 11:18 tonight. Tide goes back out early in the morning, comes back in at 11:37 for another high tide at midday Friday. It'll be a breezy night, 66. Temperatures essentially steady. In fact, our current temperatures are about where we will be for most of the overnight, 65, 66 degrees. We may even gain a degree during the overnight with that southeast wind humming along. And we do have a breezy day tomorrow. That'll drive temperatures eventually up to 72. So we're in transition to a warmer time. And after a pretty good dry day with the breeze, look out for rain to return. It's more likely into the evening. So we're going to squeak through most of the afternoon dry. Then the rain rolls in, and it'll become much more likely after 4 p.m. High pressure slides away to the east. Here comes our stripe of rain. Early morning hours, it is still well to the west. That's 6 a.m. No weather worries in the early part of the day. And then after 3 or 4 p.m., this is when we really have a very good chance of rain. 10, 11 p.m., it'll be very wet out there across our part of the Atlantic. As we step ahead here into the current conditions down into the Caribbean, scattered showers are out there into Jamaica and Barbados. Trinidad and Tobago and some of the Windward Islands are looking good. 86 degrees there. No tropical threats at this point regarding hurricanes or tropical storms. Now, there is some cold air invading the eastern part of North America, and we're in transition to this at this point. So Friday, 20 for your high in Toronto, if you were to travel that way, with some snow showers. New York City, 38, close to normal, but getting colder into the weekend. Boston, similar story, drier than we were today. Into Atlanta, that's a cold day there, 45 degrees. Miami, cool, 67. And in London, we're warming up a bit with some showers in the forecast. So locally, here we are, again, a decent, generally dry day for most of Friday, but then Friday evening, the rain rolls in, and it'll be with us on Saturday and on Sunday, and off and on showers on Monday and Tuesday as well. So the front rolls in, and it kind of gets hung up nearby. So it's a prolonged period of time with off and on showers. Steadier rain late Friday night, and then off and on showers through much of the weekend. We're going to send it back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Hello, I am Diallo Rabane, Minister of Education and a parent of a student in the Bermuda Public School System. The Ministry and the Department of Education are hard at work providing an education system that ensures our children receive an education that prepares them to be competent and competitive participants in the working world. We are tackling infrastructure, grading, teaching quality and resources, curriculum, and student behavior and social needs. We are leaving no stone unturned to make sure that every child receives an education they need to reach their goals. This is a process that will take time, but we are committed to seeing the process through. To reach our goals, we need support from parents, teachers, and the community. We are asking you to reach out to your school and ask how you can get involved to support our students. For more information, visit www.moed.bm.
This is a message from the government of Bermuda.
Rise and Shine and the Inferno Lounge is bringing you the ultimate R&B experience, Ladies Night Out, Part 2, with the sultry sounds of Fox, live in Bermuda.
What up, it's your man Avant. It's going down, y'all, in Bermuda. February the 9th, I'm gonna be in the building. I can't wait to come back, y'all.
It's Avant in concert along with Rough Ends from Baltimore, Maryland, at the Hamilton Princess inside the Harborview Ballroom. Doors open at 9 p.m. Showtime promptly at 10:30 p.m. Also featuring Bermuda's own Jesse Seymour, Olivia Hamilton, and Ty Wilson. Local DJs to keep the vibe going. Juggling Jason, Twin Star, and DJ Bernie Mac. Hosted by Keen of Burmese. Get your $75 tickets now or your VIP ticket for $100. Available at Inferno Lounge and ptix.bm. Sponsored by Moet at Chandon, Ballsfoot, Rosé, and Martini.
When it's happening now, you can't beat the immediacy of radio.
Chance to hear the thoughts of acclaimed author.
No matter where you are.
I'm Darlene Livingston with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
When events are spectacular, television is by far the best media platform.
Why now this particular topic?
For sports action, well, need we say more? Broadcast reporters put elected officials on the spot, keeping them honest and accountable to voters. And they can explain things in ways we all understand.
Climbs up to 12.5%.
Broadcast news is important. We're your eyes and ears on the ground. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. In good times and bad. Radio's your constant companion.
On the big station, Power 95.
And TV news is the news.
Based on what you're seeing.
And Bermuda Broadcasting is your station. The new terminal at the L.F. Wade International Airport one step closer to completion, and a significant one at that. The traditional roof wedding took place today in the presence of a host of dignitaries, including representatives from all parties involved in the multi-million-dollar project, which is slated for completion in the summer of 2020. Among those on hand were representatives of the Airport Authority, the Canadian Commercial Corporation, ACON, the main contractor for the project, and several members of Parliament, including E.T. Bob Richards, the former finance minister during whose tenure the project got underway, as well as Mrs. Ianthea Wade, the wife of the late L.F. Wade, after whom the airport is named. Thanking the mainly Bermudian team of workers engaged in the project for their efforts so far, Zane De Silva, the Minister of Tourism and Transport, highlighted the significance of the new terminal.
A project of this size, as you all know, has many moving parts, but the end product is entirely the sum of the parts. And it is those amongst us today who are ensuring that all these component parts, whatever they are, and whatever form they may take, come together at the right time, in the right sequence, and in the right manner. It is the Bermuda Airports Authority's dedicated team, working with their technical advisors, Stentech, overseeing the endeavors of Skyport and Acorn, who are bringing this project to fruition. Many milestone achievements have been met to date, but today's roof bedding is perhaps a significant milestone in the completion of the new airport terminal. And I am pleased to say that the entire project is now halfway to achieving substantial completion, which is projected to be around July 2020. I am sure that we are all looking forward to the day that Bermudians and our visitors alike can use this new state-of-the-art terminal, which is being designed and streamline and enhance the travel experience for our visitors and locals alike.
And we'll have more on the event in subsequent newscasts. Detectives are continuing their appeal to members of the public who can assist in identifying the gunman or accomplices to the murder of Renico Burchell. 30-year-old Mr. Burchell was fatally shot in the early hours of Saturday, December 29th last year while attending a Christmas party at the St. David's Cricket Club. He later died in hospital of his wounds the following day. Police have arrested 3 men in connection with the murder, and they were later released on police bail pending further inquiries. Anyone with any information related to the death of Renico Burchell is urged to contact Detective Sergeant Jason Smith of the Serious Crime Unit on 717-0864 or by email at jsmith2@bps.bm. Still to come, Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
At the Bermuda Festival, civil rights takes center stage in January. Singer-activist Nina Simone believed an artist's responsibility is to reflect the times. Set against the framework of one of her most blistering songs, the play Nina Simone, 4 Women, gives voice to 4 women who suffered from self-hatred due to the different hues of their skin. The production includes some of Nina Simone's most popular civil rights anthems. For tickets, visit ptix or bermudafestival.org. 44th Annual Bermuda Festival.
Let's Talk is back. The TV talk show hosted by Gary Marino airs live at 8 p.m. on Mondays. Real conversations with key figures in public life, going beyond the sound bites to explore and contextualize current affairs. And there's lots to talk about: jobs, tax reform, our changing economy, education, crime, and the environment. Discussing the issues that matter in depth and with personality. A new studio, a new look for a new season. That's Let's Talk. Live Mondays at 8 p.m. on ZBM TV9 and repeated at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 a.m.
We are the voices.
You are with the captain.
It's Mr. Midday.
12 new major news.
The big station.
The morning show.
Your #1 song.
The faces.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight.
This is exactly what you're talking about.
What an upset it was.
The Storytellers.
They are actually using the pepper spray.
Police are aware of this theory.
The water is 3,500 meters deep.
The tax climbs up to 12.5%.
The window on our community.
We bring you the best in U.S. television entertainment
and the greatest sporting events in the world.
A brilliant performance from Duffy.
We are the island's only Bermudian-owned broadcaster of both television and radio.
With the only TV channels that are available over the air in beautiful high definition, completely free.
We are always expanding.
We are always innovating.
And most important, we're always your station.
This is Bermuda Broadcasting. Sport now, and Bermuda umpires selected for ICC America's panel. Bermuda School Sports Federation's All-Star Games are underway, and Rayshawn Birch finishes competition in Germany. Earl Basin has more in tonight's sports report.
The Bermuda Cricket Board confirmed Bermuda umpires selected to the new ICC America's regional panel. The Bermuda umpires are Roger Dill, Stephen Douglas, Oscar Andrade, Emerson Carrington, and Melvin Bass. Bermuda Cricket Board President Lloyd Smith explains how this all came about.
Slider came out of ICC America's regional conference that we had in November, where the associates felt that there was no actual pathway for the associate umpires to actually get on the ICC international umpire panel at this moment. So we decided that we was going to put together a regional panel, and then hope that within the regional panel, the regional umpires get plenty of international exposure, that the next time it comes around to look into update the international panel, that the America's regional umpires will be taken in consideration.
The youngsters were on display in a positive way as the Bermuda School Sports Federation's All-Star volleyball matches took place at the Work Academy Gymnasium yesterday evening. The red team was dominant in cruising to victory over the blue team in straight games, 25-11, 25-11 in the senior school girls match. Caitlin McPhee proved unstoppable with her serve in the girls match. The Work Academy students scored 8 straight points to start the match for the red team. The blue team could never recover despite the defensive efforts of their MVP, MSA's Libero Cali Longworth. The red team MVP was Work Academy's Amber Simons. The blue team won 2 straight close games in the senior school boys match, 25-20, 25-22. The blue team were led by an arsenal of hitting from MVP Tyler Hurdle from Salters Grammar School. Stephen Kamara from Work Academy was named the MVP for the red team. Rayshawn Birch concluded competing in the partner-preferred Lippezag International Horse Jumping event in Germany. On the final day of competition, Birch competed in 2 classes. Birch and Columbine would finish 5th, competing in the 1.25-meter amateur trophy medium tour jumping competition with an immediate jump-off class. The pair clocked a time of 66.01, but they had 1 penalty fault point. Competing in the 1.40-meter amateur trophy large tour jumping competition with an immediate jump-off class, Birch and Pellegrino 51 finished 5th. They had a time of 32.80 in the jump-off, but they had 12 penalty fault points. Caitlin Bob represented Hartford Tech during the Essex Last Chance indoor track meet. Bob would win the women's varsity 500-meter race when she crossed the line in a time of 1:19.31. Bob would run the anchor leg for the Hartford Tech's women's varsity 4x400-meter relay team that clocked a winning time of 4:27.78. Elon Daly competed at the Toronto Grand Prix swim meet hosted at the University of Toronto. The 13-year-old competed against competitors with college experience. Daly would finish the women's 50-meter freestyle in 6th place, touching the wall in a time of 27.33. She would finish 5th, competing in the 100-meter freestyle, clocking a time of 58.10. With a time of 1:10.45, saw Daly finish the 100-meter backstroke in 44th place. She would finish 30th, competing in the 100-meter butterfly, clocking a time of 1:07.04. Daly closed out the meet with a 22nd place finish during the 200-meter individual medley, touching the wall in a time of 2:30.54. The Bermuda Basketball Association's Winter League season resumed with a doubleheader inside the Bermuda College Gymnasium last evening that produced 215 points on the night. In the opener, the Pembroke Skyforce defeated the St. Hoop Stars 57-31. Jericho Tucker led the Pembroke Skyforce to victory with 20 points. He also had 11 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Leanne O'Ming would lead the St. Hoop Stars with 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. The nightcap saw the Devonshire Chargers defeat the Somerset Tsunamis 75-52. A total of 17 goals were scored in the Bermuda Ball Hockey League action that took place at the PCC hockey rink last evening, with one game a blowout and the other needed a shootout. The Red Deer Rebels would defeat Rimouski Oceanic 5-1 in the opener. Ollie Foxy would score the only goal of the first period to give the Red Deer Rebels the lead. Wayne Newhook scored for the Rimouski Oceanic, but Jeremy Esty would find the back of the net for the Red Deer Rebels to hold a 2-1 lead at the end of the period. In the third period, the Red Deer Rebels will get a second goal off the stick of Esty. His goal was followed by Warren Miller and Shannon Goose. In the nightcap, the Guelph Storm got by the Las Vegas Wranglers, but needed a shootout goal off the stick of Chris Ellington to win 6-5. The Bermuda Snooker League season resumed with 4 matches played across the island. The Warwick Workmen's Club number 1 team defeated the Spanish Point Boat Club number 1 team 4-1. Spanish Point Boat Club number 2 team defeated the Warwick Workmen's Club's number 2 team 4-1. Watford Sports Club defeated the Sands Boat Club number 1 team 4-1, and RAA defeated the Sands Boat Club number 2 team 3-2. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
And that's our program for this evening. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.
On the CBS Evening News this Thursday, competing bills to end the government shutdown fail in the Senate, leaving both sides wondering what comes next.